So today is going to be Groove Day. I'm going to be showing you my best tricks and tips about groove, how to develop groove, how to develop a relationship with groove, how to, really plug into the heartbeat of music, which is the groove, right? And not just try to, play like a metronome, but actually internalize the groove and have it be a part of your playing, right? That's the most powerful thing. One of the most powerful things you can do on the guitar. What is groove? What is groove? It's the heartbeat. It really is the heartbeat. Even if you're not playing clean chords and perfect strumming, if you have some sort of groove, it's gonna work. It's better to have a groove and have everything not super clean than have everything perfectly clean but absolutely no feeling for time and groove, right? It is the heartbeat, right? So you have to think of it as the heartbeat of music. And we're gonna watch Tommy, we're gonna watch my friend Adam Rafferty play a little bit so you can really feel their groove, because they are basically masters at playing with the groove. And then I'm going to be showing you how to develop a feeling for time, for groove, and all of that good stuff. Good. Let's talk about groove a little bit now. So when I was playing those lines before, I was just messing around. You want to have those lines be in time. So it's better to play less notes than try to play a ton of notes and have it not be with the groove. So I'm trying to really I want you to feel that there's a beat, that there's some sort of heartbeat behind these notes that I'm playing, and it's not just, because there's no heartbeat there, right? There's no, right? Right? So less notes, but have it be a musical statement and be with the groove is much, much more valuable than trying to do all kinds of fast stuff and be totally, blind to groove. Less is more, exactly. Less is more. And that's one of these things that you learn as you get older. When you're younger, you just want to do fast stuff and be cool. When you get older, you really realize that the simple stuff is what really gets to people's hearts when you play it, right? And that's why I love people like Tommy, like Adam, because they're not trying to impress anybody. They're playing beautiful melodies. Everything is just wonderful, and you can just relax and enjoy the music, right? Okay, so who did I learn all this groove stuff from? So the first guy is Tommy, as I was telling you before, right? So I was watching him, studying him, watching every single interview I possibly could for a really long time. And he was talking about groove over and over and over and over again. And it really made me realize, okay, I need to really work and develop a feel and a sense of groove. The second person, and we're going to watch their videos, is Adam. So Adam Rafferty. So just to tell you guys, this is Tommy Emmanuel, in case you don't know. And this is Adam Rafferty, in case you don't know. So Adam Rafferty is also an amazing guitar player. And I had the privilege of doing a workshop with him in Tuscany for about a week. We were together for a week with a group of people. So I got to hang out with him, ask him a bunch of questions. We're really good friends now as well. He lives in Austria. He lives in Linz. So we talk on the phone all the time. But since I've been able to pick his mind and study Adam virtually, Tommy virtually, I've realized some of these core components in terms of really learning what matters, right? So like recording yourself, like I told you guys, getting a feel for rhythm and groove, those things are very, very important. So let's take a look at Tommy now. And then we're going to take a look at Adam, and then I'm going to show you my best exercises for developing this. So let's just watch Tommy play for a second here. Notice there when he took a break, he tapped his foot, I think 3 times. He didn't play a single note, but you could still feel the groove. It's always there, okay? So just try to notice that. Try to just become aware of this thing that we call groove in music, okay? And even if you're a beginner, you can still build a relationship with groove, and it's one of the most important things that you can do.
You didn't really miss the drummer going ding, 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 or the piano player going dub, dub, or the bass player boom, boom. We didn't miss them, did we?
Nope.
We didn't need them because we were playing in time with a groove. We were feeling it, and that's what's so important. And that's why when you hear, like I was watching on David Letterman last night, Diana Krall was on, and the groove that she played and sang with was like breathtaking. You could have taken the trio away and it still would have been just as breathtaking. It was even more powerful because all 3 musicians played with that same groove. And when a band plays with everybody feeling the time, man, that's powerful. You know, that's why people love the Eagles and bands like that, because when those guys play, they don't hurry anything. Everything's exactly in the pocket and it feels so good. You know, they don't need to impress you with how many notes they can play. It's all about the feeling of it. And I'm really grateful that that is something that happens to us as human beings, that we respond to that, because without that, I'd be out of the job. Because there are many players around who can play a lot more notes than I can, in a better order than I can. But when I play, I really mean it, and I try my hardest to play from deep in my soul and play that groove. And that's what puts rear ends on seats. That's it right there. Okay, so groove.
So I just wanted you guys to hear it from the master himself. Now, if you guys haven't ever checked out Tommy, check him out. He's such an incredible player, and his music is so beautiful, you know. So just listen to him. Okay, so I wanted you to hear that from him and not just from me. And now I also want to show you briefly just Adam playing, because he's another just wonderful example of somebody who's mastered groove. And this is a very fun performance as well. So let's check him out too, and then I'm going to show you guys some exercises. We're going to be getting to work. That's only one guitar that you're hearing. That's one guitar. There's not multiple instruments here. This is one guitar.
Right, keep doing it. I'll cut you off. Just watch me.
Okay, so I'm not gonna, you guys can find this on the internet. His name is Adam Rafferty. Let's get to work. So I have the scariest thing other than reading musical notation here on my desk, the metronome, right? So don't be afraid of the metronome. It can be very frustrating to use, but the exercises that I'm going to give you right now are going to really help you have more fun playing music and not be stressed about playing with the metronome. So I have my metronome set to 92 beats per minute. So you could either download an app There's plenty of free apps. There's probably stuff that you can just get on your browser, right? But I like to have this physical box. I like the feeling of just watching this thing go back and forth and actually having a real click. So this is cheap off of Amazon. I recommend getting one. So either do that or get the app. And the first thing you're going to notice when you start playing with the metronome is that the metronome always gets faster. It just gets faster all by itself. So that's how it feels, but that's not actually what's happening. It's that we are speeding up, right? We're losing it because the human nature, we just want to go faster. So the metronome forces us to slow down when you really lock into it and focus and get into that pocket, okay? So the big challenge for all of us is to not speed up and to really lock into the groove, the metronome, to the click. So I'm going to show you the exercises now. So Dennis says, let's see, the percussive thing he did. Yeah, exactly. So he was doing the groove with that click, right? But it also was like a percussive thing on a drum, right? So that he just has all the elements together. But none of that would work if he didn't have that internalized, right? None of that would work. I've seen people play even on stage and they don't have a groove. They're doing all this fancy stuff and it looks cool, right? But it just doesn't have the same impact. I actually watched somebody play right before Adam. So I went to see Adam play live and there was this younger guy playing as the person, you know, the warming up the show, right? The band in front of the main act. And he just didn't have a groove. He was good. It was flashy. The notes were there, but there was no groove. And I told Adam afterwards, I said, like, it was such a huge difference to see you come on stage after him because of your groove. And he was like, yeah, I know. It's like people think because they're hitting the guitar and doing slappy stuff that it's going to touch our souls, but it doesn't, right? And simple stuff with the groove is what really matters. So yes. So, okay, let's do it. So I'm on 92 beats per minute. And we're going to talk about the 4 types of kind of notes, right? There's more. You could always do more, but we're going to do 4 main groups. So you got your quarter notes, your eighth notes, your triplets, and your 16th notes, okay? So don't be scared of those names. The quarter notes just mean that with every beat of the metronome, you're going to be strumming down once, okay? Now, here's a very powerful exercise. Very, very powerful in terms of just developing rhythm, a little bit of rhythm, right? Take your left hand and have it not do anything, okay? Just let it fall asleep over there. You're going to want to touch the strings without pushing down so that your guitar is muted, okay? It's very powerful because it allows you to just focus on the groove and on your right hand, okay? So a lot of beginners just skip that, right? So this is very important. So what you want to do now is first the quarter note. So with every click of the metronome, you're just going to hit the strings, okay? So we can count that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put on the metronome now, and I'm going to just hit those quarter notes so you can hear and see me do it, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? You might think it's a little bit boring, but trust me, this is where it's at, okay? So those are the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Try to lock into that. And that might be a challenge because like I was saying, we tend to just get distracted because we're humans and we have a lot of things that we're thinking about. And try to really catch yourself if you get lost and try to lock into that metronome. It's very important. So those are your quarter notes. Then the next ones are eighth notes. So that just means you're going 1, 2 between the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So before we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Now between every beat we have 1, 2. Okay? So let me demonstrate that. So quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even I was fast there for a second. I had to catch myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now the exercise is going from quarter notes to eighth notes. And back and forth. Okay. So Mark says he has a similar one with the bell. Mine also has a bell, but I turned the bell off. Maybe you can turn it off. I think with this thing here, you can get rid of the bell. Okay, I don't want to even accidentally turn it on. So those are the first two to start working with. Okay, so just your quarter notes and your eighth notes. And just lock into that. You might think it's boring, you might think it's not fun, but trust me, this is what you need. This is what you need, okay? So the next ones are triplets. So that means between every beat, we're gonna do triplet, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now those are the most challenging ones. Let me demonstrate that. So I'll do quarter, eighth, triplet, 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 triplet. This might even be a little bit too fast, so I'm going to slow it down just a little bit in case you guys want to try to do this with me. So now I went down to 84. Let's try it with 84. It's not too slow. So quarter, 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth, triplet. Okay, I'm actually pretty impressed, or not impressed, but I'm, how can I say? Normally I have to struggle with this a little bit if I haven't practiced it in a while. This is something that I always come back to because it was like this huge breakthrough thing for me, and then I always come back to it. So today, when I pulled out the metronome before going live, I was pretty surprised that I was locking in pretty quickly. I don't know why that is, but anyways. So the last one that I'm going to have you do is 16th notes. So those are going to be 4 per beat. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay, so those are the fastest ones, and those are the ones that you're going to hear a lot in like funk music. Okay, so let me show you how that sounds. I'll show you the triplets again in 1 second. So let's do quarter, 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet, 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 triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's the most challenging one, especially to do on guitar, because it's really this. It pulls you in a way. It pulls you in a way. So it's slightly more challenging to do. But just take your time. You have the rest of your life to work on this, right? I'm showing you stuff that I've been practicing literally for years. The first time I did this must have been, I don't know, at least like 12, 13 years ago, 14 years ago. So just know this stuff takes time, and it's really worth integrating into your practice on a regular basis. You know, it really is the heartbeat of music. So I'll do it again, and then this time we're going to add the 16th note at the end, okay? So first I'm going to do quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Triplet, triplet. One E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1. And you want your one to always have this little accent on it, so you know where that one is. right? That first downstroke on the 1, you're going to want to hit a little bit harder just to kind of signalize to your brain, okay, this is the 1, okay? So I'll do triplets now. Triplet, 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 triplet. Eighth notes. Now I'm going to do the 16th. Okay, so those are the 4 main ones that I want you to work on, okay? So the quarter notes, the eighth notes, the triplets, and the 16ths. So practice them, you know, one by one, just lock into them, right? And then try to mix them up. Try to go from quarter to 16th to eighth to triplets, then back to quarter, right? Try to really test yourself and force yourself to try it different ways and lock in with the metronome in different ways. And what I like to do is I'll practice this long enough that I'll kind of wait for the metronome to stop. So I'll do it one entire cycle, and then once it stops, sometimes you won't even hear it stop, right? And that's the magical part, because then all of a sudden you are now becoming the metronome, right? So what we're doing is we're developing a relationship with time. And the goal is to not really even need this thing anymore. Now, that's a controversial thing because, for instance, Adam Rafferty, he says he doesn't ever even use a metronome anymore because he's so locked into groove, right? Tommy still uses one all the time just to refresh, right? So even though they're both great players, they kind of went separate ways. Adam practiced this so much and became so much of a groove machine himself that he doesn't use it anymore, right? So that's also interesting. But he does a lot of drumming. He spent a lot of time developing his groove. He showed me different exercises on the drum that it would be too much for me to show you now. But he spent a lot of time with groove and also played with like African drummers in New York City because he's like a New York City jazz musician that moved to Austria. So he spent a lot of time playing with world-class musicians in New York City. The triplets are down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Yes. Triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, so that's one thing to really practice. So go from those different ones, right? The down is going to be your 1 and 2 when you're doing the eighth note. So when I'm doing the quarter notes, I'm just doing down, even though you could do down, up. I like to just do down strokes on the quarter notes, okay? So play around with that, have fun with it. Another powerful thing that you can do is just use your hands. So, because again, we're developing a relationship with the groove. So you can just go like this, right? Quarter notes, right? Eighth notes, triplets, right? Now, when you do it on your lap, with the triplets, your 1 is always going to be on a different hand. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, I don't want to blow your minds too much, but just practice this. Try to have it be a part of your practice routine, and you'll see after a couple of weeks of doing this, all of a sudden you're going to listen to music, you're going to have a better feeling for the groove. If you go to like a dance class, I dance with my wife sometimes, and she hasn't really developed a really solid sense of time. So I'm always the one that is helping her get back on track. Normally in life, she's helping me get back on track with everything. But when we dance, I'm the one that's really, because I've developed such a relationship with the groove, I'm always the one like making sure that we're on beat. So once you develop this, you're going to hear it everywhere. Another thing that you can do is listen to the radio. Put the radio on, and with your hand, try to just tap to the groove, right? Lock into it. And then with your other hand, click mute on the radio, right? And see if you can keep the groove, right? and then unmute it. And because it's running on the radio, it's not waiting for you. It doesn't care if you lost time or not, right? And see if you're still locked in. That's an exercise I used to do also. So I just put music on the radio, try to lock into the groove, right? Mute the radio, and see if I can hold that beat, if I can be the metronome. And then after a couple of seconds, unmute it and see whether you got faster, whether you got slower, whether you're still locked in, okay? Another very powerful thing that you can do is just put on songs, your favorite songs, and try to just groove to them. It doesn't have to be a metronome, right? I wouldn't do super fast songs, but just put on songs and also try to play different strumming patterns. Just try to put on songs, put your left hand on the strings, and then don't overthink it. Don't try to analyze, is this quarter, is this, is this that? Just try to play different strumming patterns to songs that you already like. Just go crazy with it, go freestyle with it, and you're going to see that you're going to start to slowly come up with all kinds of different strumming patterns that work for that same song, okay? So that's another very powerful exercise that you could do. I'd like to do that with you guys now, but as soon as I play songs from Spotify, this video is going to get taken down by YouTube or Facebook. So that's the problem with that. But just put on your favorite songs and see if you can just groove to those. Theoretically, if I'm playing with the groove and I stop playing, you should still be able to feel the groove, the same as like Tommy was doing. So I'm not sure if I'm not as good as Tommy, but in theory, if I was locked in and you're also locked into what I'm doing and I stop playing, right, you should still feel it. Okay, so don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to play. Don't be afraid to freestyle. When I worked with a bunch of one-on-one students, they'd always be so scared. They'd always be thinking, what's the right strumming pattern? There is no right strumming patterns. There are patterns that are going to work with the songs that you're trying to play, but there's also other patterns that'll work very, very well. So just get your left hand out every once in a while, put it on the strings, and just try to groove, and you'll see, you're going to start to unlock some different dimension that you didn't know was there.